You know, Alex, I spent 3 hours yesterday trying to find a specific 1/4 inch brass elbow that I knew was in a plastic bin somewhere under the drill press. I ended up moving 4 stacks of lumber, disturbed a family of spiders that showed no gratitude for the relocation, and eventually found it sitting right on top of the miter saw.
See, that's your problem. Your organization system is basically just a physical manifestation of a chaotic memory palace.
It's a filing system based on gravity and hope. But it got me thinking, we live in this weird era where I can't find a $2 pipe fitting in my own shop, yet we have technology that can literally grow a replacement out of high performance plastic that's tougher than the actual metal pipe.
Welcome to the future, Tiger. It's cleaner than your shop, and the spiders are all robotic. Today, on the TigerDen Daily, we are talking about exactly that. From 3D printing stuff that belongs on a spaceship to the guys making six figures while still working their day jobs.
And we'll probably talk about why your driveway is currently screaming for help. But let's start with the sci-fi stuff, this PEEK material.
Right, PEEK? P-E-E-K. Polyether ether ketone for the chemistry nerds out there. They're calling it the metal killer. Are we really at the point where we're printing parts that can keep a jet engine together?
Almost. It's scary stuff, honestly. I grew up thinking plastic was the flimsy stuff toys were made of, the kind of thing that would snap if you looked at it wrong. But PEEK? You could probably use a PEEK bolt to hold a suspension bridge together in a volcanic crater. It handles heat that would turn a standard 3D print into a puddle of sad goo.
But it's temperamental, right? Every article I see about it makes it sound like trying to bake a souffle in a windstorm.
Exactly. It's the prima donna of polymers. If your print bed temperature fluctuates by even a hair, the whole thing warps like a piece of wet cedar in the sun. It's for the aerospace folks and the medical pros right now, but for the rest of us mortals, it's a sign of where the bar is moving.
Well, if peak is the aspirational goal, what's the actual reality for the maker who just wants a printer that doesn't break every Tuesday?
That's where the Bamboo Lab sale comes in. I'm usually skeptical of the latest and greatest hype trains, but they're finally knocking the price down on that P2S workhorse.
Wait, is this the part where you admit your old printers are basically boat anchors now?
I have 3 machines in the corner that require a blood sacrifice and a prayer to the god of bed adhesion just to print a benchy. Seeing a machine with a nozzle changing system that actually works, it makes me realize how much tuition I've paid in wasted filament over the years. If you're trying to turn a hobby into a business, you can't spend 4 hours recalibrating a machine just to make a $5 part.
Speaking of businesses, let's talk about the trades. You always say you're a wood and steel guy, but the world is going copper and code.
It really is. I was reading the latest from the electrical contractor folks. The Sparky of 1995 would walk into a 2024 job site and think he'd stepped onto the bridge of the Enterprise. We aren't just talking about pulling Romex through 2x4s anymore.
The term they used was Electrical 4.0, which sounds like a software update, but it's actually about smart homes and EV infrastructure.
It's the evolution of the wire. The National Electrical Code is changing so fast it'll give you whiplash. If you're an electrician today and you aren't looking at low voltage integration or how to manage a fleet of EV chargers for an apartment complex, you're basically a blacksmith in the age of the automobile.
Is it harder to get into now or just different?
It's more intellectual. You still need to be able to crawl through a hot attic. That's the dues you pay to the trade. But now you need to understand how a smart hub talks to a lighting grid. NESA is saying that by 2026, the line between electrician and systems integrator is going to be pretty much non-existent. It's a goldmine for anyone who isn't afraid of a tablet.
It's the same thing we see in the maker mogul space, right? It's not just about making the thing, it's about the system around the thing. I was looking at that story you sent over about Eli Mash and his coffee brand, Macor.
That guy is the poster child for calculated madness. He built a $100,000 brand while working a 9 to 5 and raising 3 kids. I can barely manage to keep my socks matched with a schedule like that.
Okay, but how? Most people hear $100 side hustle and they assume he had a secret pile of venture capital or he doesn't sleep.
No, he did the one thing most people are too scared to do. He solved a very boring, very specific problem: inflammation. He made coffee that fights it. He didn't try to disrupt the beverage industry. He just wanted a product that didn't make him feel like garbage after he drank it.
And he didn't quit his job to do it. That's the part you always harp on.
Because your day job is your biggest investor. People want to jump off the cliff and build the plane on the way down, but usually they just end up as a crater in the dirt. Eli used his paycheck to fund his prototypes. He didn't have a marketing budget, so he just told his story. Authenticity is the only currency that doesn't devalue these days.
So, value-based pricing. Don't be the cheapest guy on Etsy.
Exactly. If you're the cheapest, the only person you're hurting is yourself. If your product solves a real pain point, whether it's back pain or a boring living room wall, price it for the value it provides, not just the cost of the wood and the glue.
So, speaking of value, let's talk about the literal foundation of most listeners' homes, the driveway.
Oh, the glamorous world of concrete sealant. Look, I know it's not as sexy as building a walnut dining table, but neglecting your concrete is like buying a Ferrari and never changing the oil.
Why is it a weekend mastery project? Is it really that difficult?
It's not difficult, it's just disciplined. You have to clean it, patch the cracks where the weeds are trying to stage a coup, and seal it. If you don't, water gets in there, freezes, expands, and suddenly your driveway looks like a topographical map of the Swiss Alps. It's a 2-day job that can literally save you 5 figures in replacement costs down the road.
I saw a YouTube video the other day of someone trying to hack their garden hose for higher pressure using PVC scraps and some questionable physics. It did not go well.
Ah, the viral DIY disaster. We've all been there. You see a life hack that looks brilliant in a 30-second clip, and 3 hours later, you're standing in a puddle with a broken hose and a bruised ego.
So what's the alternative? How do we avoid the hose hack fail?
You look at companies like Trinity Building Systems, and they do these zero guesswork builds. Everything is pre-engineered, digital plans that actually match the physical reality. Even if you're just building a garden shed, stop winging it. If you measure twice and cut once in a digital program before you ever touch a saw, you aren't just saving wood, you're saving your sanity.
Is there a middle ground between winging it and industrial engineering?
Sure, it's called learning from the crash. Sometimes a project goes south, and that's fine. I've built things that ended up being very expensive firewood. The trick is to fail fast, figure out why the physics didn't cooperate, and don't do that specific stupid thing a second time.
Don't do the specific stupid thing twice. That should be on the TigerDen crest.
It's harder than it sounds, Alex, believe me.
So, what's the big takeaway for today? Between 3D printing peak and sealing the driveway, what are we leaving the listeners with?
I think it's the idea of precision over power. Whether you're an electrician learning smart systems, a maker scaling a brand like Eli, or just a homeowner with a pressure washer, the winners are the ones who pay attention to the details. The good enough era is kind of over. The tools are too good, and the information is too available to be sloppy.
Precision in the shop, precision in the business, and definitely precision when you're looking for that 1/4-inch elbow under the drill press.
Hey, I found it, didn't I? Eventually.
Eventually.
Thanks for hanging out in the den today. Go fix something, build something, or at the very least, go look at your concrete and tell it you're sorry. We'll see you next time.